Hello and welcome, and I'm super excited to welcome you to this second part of module 3, because here we are not only getting introduced to Power BI but also getting introduced to the environment, the data environment that is going to be a part of this particular episode of the agenda that we are talking about. So the episode which will be talking about, first of all, we have seen how the environment looks like, how Power BI looks like, how desktop version looks like, how cloud looks like, how the service looks like. And now what we are saying is we will talk about the data sources that might come into Power BI. So one of the data sources, so today's focus would be more on the SQL Server. The major part of the data services that Power BI gives us. So we will talk about the on-premises cloud server, we will talk about the Azure cloud server, and also we will see some other types of analytical services, engines and all these things. We are going to see back to back in this module 3 part 2. So let's have a quick look at the Power BI sources. So here we are talking about the SQL. How do we connect to SQL Server? So first of all, we will have a quick look at how SQL Server environment looks like. What are the components? How do you look at data storage and all these things? And then we will move on to the cloud Azure SQL Server. So what is the difference? We will quickly have a look at that as well. So let's see, and we will also talk about how to transform that particular data what we are getting from the query editor of Power BI, right? So those all things we will be seeing, and then we will move on to the advanced data source and transformation. So before that, let's connect to back different types of data sources using Power BI. So I already have, so we will be seeing 3 different sources. One will be, we will be showcasing SQL Server, how it looks like and how to connect that as well. We will then talk about our Azure, so how that we will be connecting and what is the difference between these two. And then we will definitely be talking about, let's say, another analytical services like the Google Analytics. So we will see all these 3 one by one how to work on this. So some sample data we already have, some databases. You can also try out these data sources and databases. So now this is, let's say, my remote server. So this remote server has got SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, and we have a management studio also over here. So typically a SQL Server SSMS, what we call it, SQL Server Management Service, it looks something like this. Okay, and when you open new query, it will look something like this, a blank query. So on the left hand side is the Object Explorer and the right hand side. So definitely, how do you connect? You connect through this option called Connect, and we go to Database Engine, and you will be given the database engine name and the authentication. So if it is a local database like the ones we have got on the left hand side, so it will have SA, which is the system administrator, and then there will be a password. Now we will be connecting to this particular server, staying here in this, because it's on premise. To take this to cloud or to take this outside, we would require enterprise gateway, which we are not getting into because that's an enterprise gateway is a separate module altogether, right? So what we are going to learn over here is, suppose if I have on-premise server, SQL Server database, how do I connect to Power BI? But before going to Power BI, let's have a look at what is there inside our database. So what are the things that we have housed inside this database? So SQL Server, this is Microsoft SQL Server, and what we have done is, we have, for the purpose of this particular application, for the purpose of this training, this demo, what we have done is, we have taken this Northwind database, which is a very famous database So we have taken Northwind database, and if you notice over here, Northwind, and then we have this option called tables. So any database comprises of what? It comprises of tables, it comprises of views, it comprises of stored procedures. So these are the three major components. We do have another program wherein we talk majorly about SQL Server only. Yeah, so we do have another module where we talk about SQL Server only. But here what we are doing is we are talking about how this particular application called Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio can actually showcase all your data. Let's have a look at that. So we have the tables. So we can see tables. We have tables related to card data, categories, customer, employees, orders. So how do we see these data? So suppose if I want to see orders table, so I can just right click and say show me the top 1000 records, and it immediately shows. So you have seen the speed of how the data comes over here, right? So this is because it is on premises. So we have the data on premises. Now what happens is similarly we have products. So I go to products, let's say. So we have the products and the shippers, region, supplies, and all these things are available over here. Now what we do is we go to, we wanted to see the structure of this particular database. So what I do is I just go to this option called customers, and I right click over here and I go to the script of this particular table and I say create, and I say open it in a new query editor window, and it takes some time and it will show you that okay, what are the fields that has been mentioned inside this customers table. So you can see in nvarchar, and we have some, most of them are nvarchar only, or nchar is there. So these all things we will be discussing in SQL Server modules, not here. So now what happens is most of the cases we will see that okay, this is a customers table, and it has got something like a primary key, which is the customer ID. So customer ID, this is primary key, and it is clustered. So it is clustered indexed. Now take an example of, let's say, orders. I go to orders and I go to create to, and I open this. Something interesting comes up. So orders is actually, so if you notice both of these tables, so customers is more of like nvarchar, means it is more of an attribute, right? Name of the customer, address of the customer, region of the postal code, country, and all these stuffs are there. But when you go to the orders, you have some hardcore data, what we call it. So we have the freight, we have the let's say the dates, required date, order date, ship date, and all these things are shipped via. So these are like actually fact details that we see over here, right? So what happens over here is we are talking about two factors majorly in terms of how the facts and dimensions look into. So this is like a fact, and you can see that you have order ID, which is absolutely because it's order table. So the order ID is there as a part of the primary key constraint, and apart from that we have other options also. So you can see that it is connected to customers via customer ID. It is connected to employees via employee ID. So like that, it is connected to shippers via shipper ID. So like this, you can see that there are some foreign key constraints over here also, apart from the primary key concept. So majorly when you work with this particular data, so what will happen is most of the time you will see you will have two types of data sets. One data set talking about the key attributes, and one data set talking about the supporting attributes, right? So let's proceed with this journey of the database. So we have the database with us. So let's see. Now what we do is we open Power BI. So this is Power BI desktop. So remember, the data source is already here with us, and I'm trying this on premises because my data source is also on premise. So I close this and I go to get data. And so every month when we have this Power BI update, it will ask you to update your Power BI as well. So you will see it on the right side. So if you click and download, so my server is not updated, so it was updated last month, but my desktop is updated this month. So that's why you are seeing the difference. So here it is asking for upgrading. So that's absolutely fine. So we are not doing anything that requires a quick upgradation of Power BI. So anyway, so what we do is we go to this option called SQL Server. So SQL Server, what we need to do is we need to remember whatever credentials we have seen over here. So we go to connect and we see what is the, so this is my server name. So I come here and I give the server name, and I'm talking about a particular database. So this is Northwind, NORTHWND. So what we do is I can just type also over here NORTHWND. First time when you load this or when you say OK to this, it might happen that it will ask you to, definitely it will ask you to give the credentials. But next time onwards, it will capture all the things inside, and then, you don't require the credentials over and again every time, right? So we have already given the credentials, that's why. So we just say over here. And right now we are talking about import because we have smaller data sets. If you have bigger data sets, we might go for the direct query method as well. We go to OK. And because the credentials are there, you can see that all these tables are available over here. So we can see, if I just, I don't have to do anything. If I just go to orders, I can see the orders. If I just go to products, I can see the products. These are the same records that you see over here as well. So these are the products that you see, and these are the products. So both of them are same actually. So now what happens is you take up any one of this particular, data set. So suppose you say that I want product. And what I can do is I can straight away click on this option called load, and Power BI will load this data. 77 records. So now you can see this is the first time we are loading data into Power BI. So as a part of our data preparation, we will be learning preparation in detail, but this is just to understand how do we connect to different data sources. So this is one data source. So this was on-premise data source and we connected it directly. If you want to see the data, so you will be able to see it right over here. So if you go to the data, you will be able to see it. If you go to model, you should be able to see the modeled data as well. So all these three actions you can make. So this is your first page. As I told you, this looks like a PPT, and I don't have to be a pro to work extensively with the Power BI. So suppose I just want to see how many stocks I have in unit. I can just drag and then drop it over here, and it will give me some numbers. And then if I just click on this 1, 2, 3, which is a card, I should be able to see the number. So you see that main portion was connecting. So the connecting of this data source. So this is one part. So SQL Server. So I can again go back to SQL Server. Again, I can type on the server name, and I can like this, and then I can say OK. It will take me back to this particular data. There are some other factors and components also which we are now going to discuss. So let's take an example. I am in the SQL Server, and I'm just trying to write some queries. So suppose there are some queries. We have this queries in the view format. So though I can get the view directly in Power BI also, if you are connecting to SQL Server, you will be able to connect to the views as well. So now what I'll do is, suppose I need sales by category. So I just go and right click and say, show me sales by category. So it shows me sales by category. but I'm not aware that what kind of code it has written in the background to show me this sales by category. So what we do now is the most important thing. So we now go to we right click over here and I say that I want to see the script that goes behind this particular sales by category. We go to create and then we go to this option called new editor. And here we see what is the actual code that goes behind that view. Now our idea from Power BI is not only to just connect to, so I can always go back to my Power BI and if I just click on SQL Server and if I just click on over here, if I click on OK, NORDHWND. If I don't give the database, it will show me all the database. So if I just give the database and I say OK, so I should be able to, if you see there are two types of icons over here. So the first type of icons are the views actually. So invoices, orders, quantity, orders query, sales by category. So you can see sales by category is here as well. But this sales by category is actually fixed. I mean, you cannot do any changes over here. So whatever is there, you can just select and then you can get this data. This is absolutely possible. And if you go down, then you have the tables. So you see there's a difference between the icons that we have for the tables and for the views that we have, right? So these are the things. Now what we want is, we don't want to get the views directly. We wanted to get the code out of it, right? So you can see, let's just get this first of all. So sales by category, we have got this sales by category. This is a query. And I look at the data. So this is sales by category. The idea is to see how I can manage the query that runs behind this particular view, right? So we see meat, poultry and 17,000, then condiments, we have 1700 or something like this. Now what I do is I go back to my SQL Server. Remember, we have this code with us. So this is the select query which is actually resulting in that particular output. So now what we will do is we will directly not take up the view, but we will go deeper into the code that is being written over there. So I say Control C, I copy this, and then what I do is I go back to my this home menu and I say SQL Server. Till now we are just all talking about SQL Server. So now what we do is I straight away I need to give the server name. We will come back to the server name, but what I now do is I go to my advanced option and I paste this query. So this is the query that is pasted over here. And now what I do is I have to copy my this database name. So I go to my database name, and if you notice over here, you will see the server name you gave, and the DB name is also over here. You can copy it from here as well. So this time what we are doing is we are not opening up the entire table list, but what we are doing is we are selectively going inside the code, and you can see that there are some joins and other things which are already there, which we will be exploring in subsequent modules. But here what we do is we simply click on this option called OK, and you see the data. If you match it, it is like point to point matching over here, 17,604.6, 17,604.6, which means that the view, I can get it directly using the name of the view, or what I can do is I can also get it through the code. So the code also I can get it. So now what I have to do is, so suppose if I just load this, and we can, as a query 1, it will get loaded. So we have query 1 over here. So you can see query 1 and sales category both are having same output over here. Now what I do is, what is the benefit of using query? I will show you. So what I will do is, first of all, I will rename this. So I will say this is my sales query, something like this, my sales query. And now what we do is, we wanted to see what is the benefit of using this as a code. We go to transform data and we go to the transformation services that we have got. And now this is the same option. We have the query editor. We go here and then we go to this particular sales query, and you will see that I can go to this option called advanced editor, and I have the entire query with me. So what does this mean? What I can do it over here? So what I can do is, instead of let's say 1997, what I can do is I can make it as 1996, change it to 1996 and say done. And it will ask to run. I run this and you can see that the numbers have completely changed. So numbers have changed, and then what I can do is I can say close and apply, and now you will see both of them have different values. So if you click on sales by category, it is still the same because it has got the original data. And if you look at my sales category, my sales query, the numbers are different over here. So that's the benefit of, that is like, how do we collect data from an on-premise SQL server, right? So this is not available outside. However, there is another option, another part of it, which is the Azure, right? So the Azure SQL database. So Azure SQL database, for Azure SQL database, so I will show you. So let's move on to the next section, wherein we will be talking about the Azure SQL database, right? And how to connect that to Power BI and what are the benefits of using it in Azure. What is the architecture, how it looks like? Let's discuss it in the subsequent part.